So I meant to make this video last month, but some other topics kind of took precedence over it. But here we are. It's a little over halfway through the year, and one thing I like to do is kind of do a 6 month check in, look at where I am career wise, DJ wise, creativity wise, and where I wanted to be during at least halfway through the year, right? Um, I guess take a step back from that. At the beginning of the year slash the end of the previous year, I like to set some goals as far as career, as far as creative, as far as family, just a lot of like life goals, right? I think it's important to have those set. That way you can kind of build a plan to reach and achieve those goals. With this year, as I look back on the last 6 months, I honestly am not where I wanted to be. Not necessarily like DJ gig wise, but creativity wise. I wanted to have more, content as far as like DJ edits, remixes out, but that kind of took a back seat a little bit for a few months. Um, I'm starting to pick that back up again. Uh, if you are a Road Patreon subscriber, grab my edit on there. Probably be on my Bandcamp later, sometime soon before the month's over. It's an edit of Billie Eilish. I really enjoy it, or a blend of Billie Eilish. So that's a big one. I wanted to focus more on production, and I just haven't had the chance to. As far as DJ wise, I told myself at the beginning of the year I was actively going to travel less, just to kind of focus on other things as far as just kind of fortifying my DJ skills and DJ ability. Um, I saw some kind of I saw holes in my DJ game that I needed to kind of work out and tweak, and wanted to just strengthen as far as like being familiar with different genres, as well as being able to blend that into my the way I play, my skill set, or just my style. And I would say over the last maybe month or two, um, I kind of had a revelation as far as uh, the way I DJ. And this came mostly through um, taking the time to reflect on the last year or so of my DJing, and I wasn't, all the way happy with it. I would say too, like the switch to from Serato to record box with sticks was also that had a little bit to do with it, right? That I wanted, part of it was I thought that maybe a fresh start, as far as like the way I DJ would kind of rewire my brain a little bit and make me think about DJing differently. I guess the easiest way to say it is I was kind of feeling complacent with the way I was DJing, and I didn't feel like I was pushing my DJ envelope as much as I used to in the past. So after months of DJing on sticks, and now being comfortable with it, um, yeah, I had uh, a kind of light bulb go off in my mind with my DJing, that what I thought I was lacking, as far as DJ wise and like style wise, um, I think I was focusing on the wrong thing. I think I was looking at my skill set as lacking, rather than looking at the strengths that I have as a DJ. And not to say that I stopped working on the things that I wanted to work on, or I'm not trying to get better in those departments. I am, but I think, especially when you're a creative that does, especially a performer that does this for a living, it can be very easy to focus on the parts of your game where you lack rather than realize the strengths that you have, right? If you've been doing any performative creative field for a long time and you're still in the game, there's a reason why you're there. And I think, yeah, over the last month or two, I have, I guess, come to terms with the fact that, yeah, maybe kind of lacking in some departments as far as like genre wise and um, that, but there are things that I do very well. And those are not by accident, those are because I worked on them for years over time. And the intuition I have as a DJ, as far as reading a crowd and things like that, music knowledge, skill wise, just things that I've worked on and built up over time. And while it is important to focus on things you can improve on, I think focusing on it so much made me second guess my skill set as a DJ in a lot of ways. And it's so important to, you know, have that self reflection where I'm not necessarily saying like, be egotistical about it, but feel confident in the fact that you're here for a reason, or that I guess I should speak for myself, that I've gotten to where I am because of hard work and continuing hard work and the things that I lack in my DJ game. It's a good thing that I can see that and know that those are things that I need to work on. And there's a lot, and I will say also too, running into younger DJs that don't have that kind of self-reflection where they just don't care, or unaware and don't care, I guess, kind of go hand in hand about um, certain aspects of their DJ game and kind of just point fingers instead of looking for a solution, which is, I mean, it's so hard to. No, I should say it's easier to go ahead and blame other people and situations rather than do the self reflection and kind of come up with a plan towards a solution, right? And this goes for anything in life. And it's it's very clear. There's a reason why some younger DJs that work at their craft, you know, get look get looks more than other DJs. Not to say that there's people that get looks that I don't want to say don't deserve it, but don't work as hard in certain aspects as far as technical skill. But those both of those cases will always be better off than a DJ that just blames the game, their situation, whatever the case is. I mean, man, I started with basically no DJ homies in LA, and I somehow am still doing this full time. Slowly building up relationships, building up my skill set, making content. Figuring out what works for me, and that I tell a lot of DJs that. I've had DJs ask me, "Yo, should I do video content? What do you think I should post?" And it's really, my answer is almost always, actually not almost, my answer always is, you won't know until you figure out what works for you. And what works for you isn't necessarily what will always get the most clicks and the most views, but it's that balance of what can you do consistently, and that consistency is the most important part. What can you do consistently, as well as have people come to it, share it, watch it, whatever the case is, listen to it. And that was part of my goal as far as like the production side. I had to make the decision where my life as far outside of work, DJ work, and that that area of my life. I had to kind of sacrifice the production side to take on other things. I started working with the Road podcast again, which has been awesome. Love that for me. Love that for the podcast. Love the responses we've been getting on our episodes. I have, made the conscious decision to be consistent with YouTube again, which for a long time was, just not happening. And I started finding a groove with that. Took on some sponsorship stuff, and anyways, it's a balancing act, right? And the consistency is what really matters as far as trying to figure out what can work. Because, going viral can be a flash in the pan, but I've grown a following as far as the YouTube stuff. Number one, because I put out things that are helpful, and that's always my first inclination or what I want to get across. And number two is because I have a lot of content out there, and I do it because I figured out a system that works for me. And man, where was I going with this? Anyways, sorry about that. So 6 months into the year, I've, hit some goals. I haven't hit some goals. So in all honesty, I'm not where I want to be, but that's important to realize that, just to make sure that I realize personally where I might have come up short in some areas. I have achieved goals that I set out so far in other areas, and that's important too. Don't just criticize yourself over where you came up short, but celebrate your wins as well. It's a balance. You need both of those in your life. And yeah, I have a lot more work to do. Less than 6 months left in the year. Have some cool stuff lined up or planned that I want to do for this channel, and also with other content stuff that I want to do. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, where are you guys as far as halfway through the year? Have you hit your goals? Have you not hit your goals? And if so, what is your plan for the next 6 months before we get to the top of next year? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Super interested in what you guys have going on. So please go ahead and leave that down in the comments. I'll be sure to read each and every one and respond to as many as I can. And of course, if you're interested in more DJ related content, click on one of the videos right here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.